Hello and welcome. In this video we are discussing about design pattern in Java, factory method. So factory method is a creational design pattern that provides an interface for creating objects in a superclass, but allows subclasses to alter the type of objects that will be created. Imagine that you are creating a logistics management application. So the first version of your app can only handle transportation by trucks. So the bulk of your code lives inside the truck class. And after a while, your app becomes pretty popular, and each day you receive dozens of requests from C transportation companies to incorporate C logistics into the app. But how about the code? At present, most of your code is coupled to the truck class. So adding ships into the app would require making changes to the entire code base. Moreover, if later you decide to add another type of transportation to the app, you will probably need to make all of these changes again. As a result, you will end up with a pretty nasty code riddled with conditionals that switch the app's behavior depending on the class of transportation objects. So solution: the factory method pattern suggests that you replace direct object construction calls using the new operator with calls to a special factory method. And the objects are still created via the new operator, but it's being called from within the factory method. And objects returned by a factory method are often referred to as products. And at first glance, this change may look pointless. We just moved the constructor call from one part of the program to another. However, consider this: now you can override the factory method in a subclass and change the class of products being created by the method. So there is a slight limitation though. Subclasses may return different types of products only if these products have a common base class or interface. Also, the factory method in the base class should have its return type declared at this interface. For example, both truck and ship classes should implement the transport interface, which declares a method called deliver, and each class implements this method differently. Trucks deliver cargo by land, ships and deliver cargo by sea, though the factory method in the road logistics class returns truck objects, whereas factory method in the C logistic class returns ships. So the code that uses the factory method, often called client code, doesn't see a difference between actual products returned by various classes, and the client treats all the products as abstract transport. And the client knows that all transport objects are supposed to have deliver method, but exactly how it works isn't imported to the